You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCVP.
All right, it's another edition of the WCV podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network presented by DraftKings. It's Jarom. It's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Not much, man. Just an eventful weekend of hockey,
Yeah. Anything happened in hockey world this past couple of days?
My heart broke. That's one.
How many times? How many times did your heart break?
Just one, literally. It was one. That was it.
Yeah. Well, my heart kind of broke a little bit seeing images from about 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago.
Oh.
But we'll get into that. So, unless you've been living under, if you're watching, he just got his flower shirt on in memory. Rip. Pour one out for the homie. God damn it. I am so beyond rattled with this trade deadline and everything that happened. So if you've been living under a rock, today was the NHL trade deadline and not a lot happened. So years past, do you remember when trade?
I feel like every year recently has been not a lot happened, but it's because teams got so fleeced in the past.
You're living in, this is a fantasy hockey league that no owner feels like they can trust the other owners. So nobody's making moves.
Yeah.
But do you remember a couple, I don't know if it was even a couple of years ago, more when we were kids, in high school and stuff, when the trade deadline was free agency day, where it was oh man, let's go. You marked it down. You were ready to go. Try to get call sick from school if you could, or, cancel any plans so you can watch and see all the trades come in.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
now
guys just coming off the board left and right. And it's first round pick.
You're watching coverage and it's before they can even finish saying one trade, another trade's coming in. Now I feel because teams want to get in front of everything so much quicker, all the big trades happen before the deadline day.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are just
Somewhere in the more recent years, teams realize that they can make trades in the week leading up to the deadline day. It's not just some NHL 22 simulation where it's okay, here's the countdown. It's a different screen now. You got to figure it out.
Yeah. But so speaking of trades before the trade deadline, we'll just get right into it. Kyle Davidson made his first big boy move as the GM of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Official GM.
As the official GM, not the interim. No. He's got to fall on this sword.
His first move as interim GM was to waive God debt. And then his next move was to give Malcolm Subban to Buffalo for future considerations.
Oh, speaking of future considerations, did you see Nashville really quick? They made a trade today for future considerations, and they picked up somebody and they gave away future considerations. They put on their Instagram story. They're thank you for all your contributions to this organization, future considerations. It was just a blank.
Yeah, that's good shit.
But all right, so the trade. I should have had this pull up. Do you have it?
I have it.
All right, go for it.
Ryan Carpenter for a fifth. No, it's the trade that broke my heart this weekend. Brandon Hagel and 2/4, so one in 2022, one in 2024, to Tampa for Taylor Radish, Boris Katchuk, and 2 firsts. Huh?
That's not a real name. I've seen him play. And
he's also Canadian.
Yeah, and I still don't believe it.
But 2 firsts in 2023 and 2024. And then both of those are top 10 protected. And so if either of those are in the top 10, it moves to the 2025 or 2026.
I thought you could only do top 2 protected.
No.
So
I don't know why it's also if it's in the top 10, we're keeping it. That's nobody.
What does that say?
Well, kind of 12 is good still. I don't know.
What does that say about this team that's clearly not going to finish in the bottom 10?
Every team,
and they're doing a top 10
hit with injury issues.
But they're so this team is so good but they still feel the need to protect their top 10 when our former GM, we are a team that was not as good as Tampa, but we felt it was only necessary to protect top 2.
I don't know.
What is going on?
I don't know what to tell you, man. Some GMs know how to GM better than other GMs.
It's just frustrating. So initial thought.
Heartbroken.
Yeah.
That's all. It's like the one guy that we kept saying over and over again, get him off your trade boards. He's not going anywhere. And then Tampa just goes, but what if we gave you this? And then everybody's like, well, motherfucking Tampa, like, if you're gonna give us that, like, I guess so. Like, yeah, dude, why not? And then yeah, it's it kept me up at night a little bit just thinking about it.
The most frustrating thing about that trade was Frank Cervelli tweeted out that Hagel has been traded. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing came up, nothing more.
Gotta be the first one to do it.
The first one out there. So it doesn't say, who we traded him to or what we got back. Not even like a hint at what the possible return was. So the entire time I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, this is getting to be horseshit. Like we're getting like a 2nd round pick, maybe like a prospect that has no shot of making to the NHL.
Right. Like typically, like you hear the asking price for players and it's a first rounder, a prospect, and like a replacement level player. And like, that was what it was. So it's like, that's the starting point typically. So when you hear just Brandon Hagel's been traded, it's like, okay, did we at least get the starting point, or did they get negotiated down to maybe just like a first and a prospect or a first and a player that like could be used, but they somehow got negotiated up and we gave away 2 fourths, I guess, but got 2 firsts and 2 prospects, I would say, because they're still this is their rookie season. This is their rookie season.
They're the same age as Hagel.
Yeah, but they've been playing on Tampa. Tampa's been stacked.
Yeah.
So
it's just weird saying it's just
we
weird.
got other things going into this too. Yeah. But I just, it's such a good trade. I guess I'll just go into it now. So Taylor Radish and Boris Katchouk and Brandon Hagel all drafted in 2016. Katchouk and Radish are both drafted in the 2nd round. I think like 48th and like 55th or something. Radish, I mean, if we've watched the Hawks games this weekend or anything like that, their first games, you've heard clearly that he's played with Strome and DeBrincat.
Yes.
I think the other thing that happened too is that he had played with Katchouk as well, because I think he went from the Otters to like the Sioux Greyhounds. I could be wrong on that. I looked up his stats like pretty quickly, but at every level he's played well. He's progressed, and same with Katchouk. He's played well and he's progressed. Tampa doesn't really have the ice time that these guys would get in Chicago.
Right.
They're a stacked fucking team that probably asked them to play more of a defensive 3rd, 4th line role. And then the other side of the coin is we're giving up Hagel, who is on our top 2 lines, that can probably fill in on their top 2 lines, but their top 2 lines are pretty fucking stacked the way they are. So he's going to likely play like 3rd or 4th line. And I don't know if his stats are going to be as good, because like recently when he's been kind of on fire, he was averaging closer to like 20, 21 minutes of time on ice. And in Tampa, the 2 guys that he got traded for, like they were each only averaging 11 to like 13 minutes time on ice. So he's going to probably be losing like 6 minutes or so. Plus like he's not getting first line power play time.
No, he's taken over that Blake Coleman, Goudreau role.
Yeah. And I think he's going to be really great at it. And I hope he succeeds very like super hard. And then I hope that Tampa can no longer afford him and we could get him back.
It was a tough scene. The first image of him in Tampa Bay was those goddamn hideous stadium.
Those jerseys were terrible.
God, in the helmet with the stupid the Tampa Bay logo on the helmet. Yeah. Ugh.
The oversized logo. Yeah, man. It was rough seeing him like that. That's also what broke my heart. But this is definitely up there as like one of the top trades that like I really I don't know. I'm going to think about for a long time. It's like this one, Hjalmarsson and Panarin. And like Hjalmarsson was clearly like with the team for much longer, but we all like saw the stat, like what he did out there and how great he was. And he's just a cap casualty. Panarin was just mismanagement of like what you fucking have. And like, wow, like he explodes even more outside of the Hawks. And that's just depressing, especially what a shit trade it was for. And then I think this one just hurts me so much more about Hagel is because I've just been pumping this kid's tires ever since like he started being a lineup regular. And I was like, this kid's going to be good. This kid's
yeah.
And he's only improved. And like, what was it over the summer? I was like, I don't care what you do. Sign him to an 8-year contract. I don't give a shit. And like the contract was good. 3 years, 1.5. And I'm just like, great. That's fine. He's going to get way more when that's over. And then NHL 22 comes out or when it before it comes out, and I go, I don't care what they did. Hagel is guaranteed 10 overall less than what he should be. And it's like, yep, he was a 78. And I think he's probably hovering around 83, 84 at this point in the game now too.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it. I haven't played the game in a minute, but I can guarantee like, if you're going to be playing it, let me know.
I want to go in that game and propose this exact trade, but as the Blackhawks to Tampa. And just see what absolute ridiculous, like, are you fucking stupid response that you get from the
sorry, what?
But, you know, as much as that return was great, I mean, again, I still stand by what I've said on this podcast before is that I think people value draft picks way too much. And people see
depending on like what team you are though too,
right? But I also though it's like getting 2 draft picks from the Tampa Bay Lightning, which most likely are going to be in that 20, anywhere between the 20 to 32 range.
Yeah, where it's kind of
probably even higher, probably even
you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. It's still kind of like, at least to me, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth because it's like cool. So we got 2 guys. Awesome. I think those guys will be good. But at the same time, I do think
that they're gonna get more ice time, and it's gonna be pretty great. Like I said, they're still in their rookie season.
Yeah,
and like Radish already scored his first goal with the Hawks.
Yeah, he put up 2 points that first game. He had an assist on.
He had an assist, but not in the Minnesota game. He didn't score. He scored against Winnipeg.
Oh, did he play? Or did he score in the Minnesota game?
No. I'm saying he got an assist, I think, in the Minnesota game.
And then he scored against Winnipeg. Okay, never mind. I got my games mixed up. This whole weekend's a game just seemed like one game.
But it's hard to pay attention to the games when you were expecting so many trades.
Right. But you know, like I'm saying though too, it's just I felt like if you're gonna be moving a player, and I don't know if the market was truly there for him to get like a first. What's up?
He had a goal and assist against Winnipeg. Sorry, I was just looking it up.
No. And I don't know. I mean, the fact too that it's like 2 first-round picks, but they're not for this year. Not once for this year.
Shit.
But I'm just saying though, like it's going against it's like I'm so rattled by this whole trade deadline as a whole that it's like I can't comprehend or put out what I want to say correctly. The theme for this for me is big talk, all bark, no bite with Kyle Davidson. And this was probably if this was the mindset going forward with the rest of his moves this trade deadline, it would have been fine. This one I have less of a problem with. It sucks because I still don't understand why you would move Hagel. I understand why you would because of the package. That's you can't say no.
Yeah, I don't think he was looking to move Hagel, but he was offered just an insane deal. Though.
I want to know, I don't know if he said or not if he was openly shopping Hagel. Or if he,
I don't think it was. It was it was the team was listening on offers of anybody, and it's can you imagine? I don't think he went up to Tampa and was like, "Hey, we'll give you Hagel if you give us 2 of these guys and 2 picks," and they were like, "Yeah, I fucking do it." And he's like, "Oh shit, I should have asked for some more."
That would have been hilarious. It's kind of confusing too. I don't know. I've got Taze's quote pulled up from that day.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel the same way because it's just kind of I don't understand I understand it's a rebuild and I don't understand how we're doing this because especially with what happened today and the moves and lack of moves.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. So Taze said did an interview with Laz after the Hagel trade. He said if he's not a guy that's part of a rebuild, then I don't know. I don't know if anyone feels safe at this point. And it's very true. I mean, it's a very fair statement because it's
weird. He's safe because he doesn't go anywhere without him saying he wants to go somewhere.
No, I don't think he's necessarily talking about himself.
Yeah.
Because instantly after the Hagel trade happens, you hear there's somebody, I don't know how it started or what, if there's any legitimacy to it. It was teams are calling about DeBrincat and Kane.
Right.
And then one guy and then it was like, if Kane goes, DeBrincat goes. And if DeBrincat goes, Kane goes. Yeah. There was like the correlation. So then it's like all snowballing. And I think that is what Tases were kind of referencing more. Not himself. I think he was just saying like,
right,
a guy that you see, like he probably saw Hagel as one of those core guys moving forward for this team, was going to be there when he's gone, kind of thing. To see him get moved, who's next? You know, and I think that's more what he's saying.
I also just think that if you look at the situation like a little further back and see the asset management that just happened too, is kind of insane. Hagel was a 6th round pick that was not signed by Buffalo and was signed as a free agent and turned into 2 firsts and 2 prime.
It's insane.
Like same age players.
It's the same thing
that's good. That's good.
It's the same thing about Marc-Andre. We can talk about that trade next real quick. Marc-Andre gets flipped to Minnesota for a conditional 2nd round pick, not first.
Yep.
2nd round pick. Let's clarify that because
it is a second that can turn into a first, possibly.
I don't understand why people keep calling it conditional first. That's not how conditional picks work.
It doesn't. It's so silly. It's like, they got him for a first. No. They almost have him for a first.
Yeah. The condition is Minnesota has to make to the Western Conference Finals, and Marc-Andre has to win 4 games in the first 2 rounds.
Yes. So in a perfect world, where we upgrade our conditional picks right now, the Edmonton Oilers play the Minnesota Wild in the Western Conference Final, with Edmonton going to the Stanley Cup Final. And during that time, Marc-Andre Fleury gets at least 4 wins, and Duncan Keith is at least in the top 4 in defenseman ice time for the Edmonton Oilers. And then we get a first and a second rather than a second and a third.
What is going on?
We're playing like, it's like, I don't know, like it would be like a parlay almost, but we're kind of like just living like this dream world where like, oh, these scenarios are so plausible. Like we're gonna be rich.
I don't want to know the negotiation of like player trades. I want to know the negotiation of conditional picks. Like, how do they come to the agreement on this absolutely ridiculous stuff?
How about we get a first if you guys make it to the Western Conference Final? Okay. But Fleury's got to win at least 4 games if we make it there.
Which you got to assume if they make it there, it's because Fleury. Like I can assume that once they get playoff time, Fleury's the guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they just have them swapping every game and seeing who goes into the playoffs the hottest. Like you got literally the both goalies that were on the. Wait, wasn't Fleury in the All-Star game or no? No, it was just DeBrincat. Shit. Well, so you have Cam Talbot, who was an All-Star this year, and you have Fleury, who was the Vezina winner last year, and they're both pretty fucking good right now.
I saw a tweet. Someone's like, the only other goalie that I've seen so disrespected than Marc-Andre Fleury is Cam Talbot. And now like Cam Talbot's like finally like finding his groove in Minnesota, and then here comes Marc-Andre.
Oh, dude, whoever is Cam Talbot's agent is gonna come out with that photo with the sword through the back of Cam Talbot.
I hope it's just like a really shitty like Photoshop. It's just the same exact Marc-Andre thing, and they just like paste Cam Talbot's face over it.
Yeah. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
But that's a pick. So kind of going back with the Hagel, like you look at turning nothing into something. Like Hagel is signed as a free agent, unsigned free agent. Then you go to Marc-Andre, who we traded literally for nothing.
We traded for a guy we got back.
What do you mean we got back?
Hekarainen. They terminated his contract in Vegas and then re-signed with like the Hawks organization.
Oh shit! Did he really?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive that happened.
Oh my god! I didn't realize that.
Oh, here, let me see if I can find it. But the other thing about the Fleury situation too is like I'm really glad we at least got a second, because how many times like leading up to this did we say that he's probably just not going anywhere? It was up to him, like the Hawks were gonna let him choose where he's going, and there was only a few teams he would say yes to, and I think we got really lucky that Bill Guerin is the GM of
Right.
Minnesota, and they have those
together.
ties. Yeah, and I'm sure like I don't know, Minnesota out of nowhere was like, oh, like Fleury, like maybe we should solidify, make sure that we have like a good 1-2 punch. And I mean, I think it worked out pretty well. Am I wrong about this? It says he's inactive, so maybe
I don't think
is.
Yeah, I think we joked that he was gonna
I
resign.
thought, okay, that would have been really fucking funny.
Yeah, I think we joked about that. We're like, yeah, we should just go resign him now that he got cut, and
we can still do it.
But no, like Davidson was saying pretty much that the Fleury trade kind of came together pretty quickly. It wasn't really like a lot of back and forth. It was like, hey, this is what we want.
Yeah.
He's willing to come there.
It works out because like you see with some guys, when they have a lot of like the say in where they go, the return is not typically very good, because like you don't really have as much competition going on to get that player, because like it's not just anybody, it's just wherever they want to go. So the fact that we actually got a second that can turn into a first, which I think is, I mean, they have a good chance at like making it to the Western Conference Final, especially if Fleury plays. As soon as he wins 4 games, I'm gonna like really be pulling for that Western Conference Final, and then they get swept.
They're just Toronto of the West. Until they do it, I'm not gonna believe it.
They've made it to the Western Conference Final before. You know this, right?
I do, but that would win. How long ago was that?
Probably like 2003 or something like that.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
It's not the same Minnesota team. It's a completely.
Also, yeah, I guess. And it's crazy. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just think that it was a good return for something that we didn't think was going to happen, and like had only a few chances of going on. Also, I think it's hilarious that with all the names that we had on the trade board, the least likely names were the first ones traded.
Yep. Did you let me ask you this about the return too. Do you think if it wasn't like if it wasn't Marc-Andre Fleury, say it's just a different goalie that's same prestige and all this stuff as Marc-Andre, and you go to move him where you don't have to be careful because of how he's been handled before, does he get you a first round pick straight up?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I guarantee like a team like Washington or a team like Edmonton is going to be like, oh, we'll give you a first plus.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a little handicapped by that, but
yeah.
But I know it was worth it because
we got Fleury in Chicago, and he was amazing. He's a great person, and he will always have gotten his 500th win as a Blackhawk.
And his 69th shutout as a
Blackhawk.
Buddy. But his agent, who is one to very speak his mind very often and a lot, and especially when it's bullshit stuff. It was nice to see him say something. So I'm talking about Alan Walsh. He said that Blackhawks GM Kyle Davidson was above board and in constant communication with Fleury throughout the process. Fleury loved it in Chicago. So great PR right there. Much needed PR after everything that's been going on, and kind of nice to see that the new regime are going to do right by their players for the most part. And
I'm glad that they like upheld what was said to Fleury to bring him here too, that we weren't going to just like do whatever. The cool thing too is like, I think Fleury's family is staying in Chicago.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He was saying that they're going to stay in Chicago and it's not too far, so it made it easier.
Reunion?
Yeah.
This summer? Maybe.
Another thing too to point out, Davidson said during his like little media scrum after the trade deadline, he was asked if he was actively shopping Fleury, and he said no. He said he had, I don't know if he exactly if he said, I missed kind of some of it. It was kind of like the audio was weird, but he said that once he knew who Fleury was willing to go to, he kind of made it clear, but wasn't like actively saying like, "Oh, here, take him. He wants to go to you. What are you gonna give us?" kind of thing. He
Yeah.
was like, it was kind of made known. He waited for Minnesota to reach out and all that kind of stuff, and eventually came down to Minnesota or bust. So it was either Minnesota gave us a fair deal for him, or he was finishing out his season in Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, I like the way that he honestly, like with some of the no moves, I kind of like it because I'm glad he didn't just give things away just to acquire other stuff. I don't know.
Did he?
Here, hold on. We'll talk about Carpenter real quick and I'll go into it.
This is why I'm questioning the Carpenter trade. Is like, okay, but did he just get rid of something and just to get something back? Like,
but okay, so with Carpenter, I think will make sense this trade. I don't know. I just really like the way Carpenter's played ever since he joined the team. I think it was like this is his third season with us, right?
Yes.
Because I get it all mixed up with like the shortened seasons and like things starting late and all that stuff. But
Second or third, yeah.
He was just a great utility player. He's like he's huge piece, you know. I mean, somebody that probably wouldn't end up bringing back in the off season. So I think in that situation, like getting a fifth for him, like cool, great. Like I don't know if there's any salary retained or anything.
No, I think he's only making $1 million.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah.
Fifth, no, it's also a fifth in 2024.
Yeah, I mean that could also just end up being a piece that gets like that's just a pick that maybe we can just trade later on in some deal to like sweeten the pot, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be a pick that's going to be used. So that's again acquiring an asset that we can use in the future. When I was saying before about like just some things of not making a move just to make a move, where I think the guys that have higher value, like Kubelik and Dahan, those guys you can probably re-sign in the offseason, like 1 year, 2 year deals, and then end up still having them as trade bait for the next like season or two. Like Kubelik, especially, is on RFA. So
right, Kubelik makes sense. I understand why holding on to Kubelik. We still have control of him. Same thing with Strome. I understand.
I think Strome can only increase in value with the way he's been playing, and I think that would be great. And if he can be a part of the rebuild and just be a good 1-2 kind of on the same line wherever DeBrincat is, that'd be great.
I'll say this. I mean, we know my stance on Strome, and yeah. He's a guy. I honestly, I've never wanted to be wrong in my so bad in my life is I want Strome to be like, I want Strome to work out.
Yeah.
But again, it's like until he proves he can be a consistent player and doesn't be so streaky, like that's why it's like it's so hard. I still think we probably should have tried to move him. Like we probably should have got what the value for him what now was.
I think that
again, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope this time next year I'm like, man, I'm so glad we have Strome and he's like putting up his 40th goal of the year and
40 goals. And DeBrincat's got 80 assists instead. What the fuck?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I don't even remember what I was really going with, but like
Dahan and Kubelik and
Dahan. I think Dahan is still a solid guy that we could keep, though I don't think it's necessary. It would have been nice to move him, but like I don't think letting other GMs know that you're going to just start moving guys just to move guys like Dahan, like when you're asking for probably a second or something, it's like I don't know.
Him being a free agent next year, he would have been perfect on a playoff team that needed the extra defenseman. Like I don't understand. Like I would love to hear if there was any bites on him or if
apparently Carolina was looking at him, but like I don't know. It was something I saw like the Bruins were looking at him, but then the Bruins got Lindholm. Like probably St. Louis, I think, was looking at him, and then they went and got Leddy.
I know Dahan's not the sexy defenseman like that everybody like is looking for, but I'm shocked
Yeah, he's one of the top like guys in block shots this season too.
I'm legitimately shocked that he didn't get picked up by a playoff team.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if like the Hawks do try to re-sign him.
I would love it.
Because like the other thing too is maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking in like a really nice world that like like Davidson is not finding a deal that he really likes for DeHaan, and then that the way that DeHaan doesn't have to fucking move anywhere, maybe he ends up re-signing here, and then like just Davidson lets him know like, hey, like we're gonna try and get you somewhere at the deadline next year, and maybe you can compete for a cup, and just give him like a 1-year deal. But I don't know.
He's like a good piece to have for a rebuild too, because it's like he's got the experience. He's a solid.
Fucking Murphy, DeHaan, and McCabe are all in like top 10 in blocking shots in this league, and we still fucking get scored on a shit ton. It's crazy, but I don't know. And like I was saying with Kubalik, like he's an RFA, but like you can sign him to like a year deal, and possibly try and move him again next deadline, or just walk away. I don't know. I feel like the Carpenter is a good move because I don't see why they would re-sign him in the summer, and then that way it kind of frees up a roster spot for somebody like one of the younger guys that they want to bring up or have been just like floating in and out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Kubalik, I think if you can just re-sign him and use him as a trade piece next year, because like I said, RFA, I don't know, and then maybe you never know what's going to happen around the draft too. Because like even then you can move somebody like Kubalik or DeHaan just for signing rights.
Yeah, I mean, those aren't the guys that people go. I mean, Kubalik maybe. I don't think you get anything for DeHaan for signing rights.
Yeah, and then even if they move Kubalik for anything, like just remember we got him for like a 5th or a 6th round pick.
At this point,
that's another like asset management kind of thing. Like if we get like a 3rd. Maybe in like the fucking draft, it's like, okay, you turned a 6th or whatever into a 3rd. Like that's still good.
Yeah.
Or that I'm just thinking of things that like helps to like free up some space with like either taking in contracts for guys that like and freeing up space and getting prospects and picks. Like, I don't know. Who do you really keep? I think DeBrincat's one. And Kane is the other. And I only want Kane to stay on the team because I want him to be the franchise leader in points.
Well, right now you're looking at just under $47 million in cap usage for next season.
Mm.
So that's weird. We're going to have
a lot of cap space.
A lot of cap space.
Yeah.
Fuck the rebuild. Let's retool.
We're kind of like, here's the weird. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. Like, because like some bad teams typically sign certain free agents to like maybe like a higher deal, but like 1-year deals, knowing that they're going to be moved at the trade deadline. But it's like we still have pieces like Kaner and DeBrincat that if we sign someone pretty good for like a 1-year deal, it's going to really hurt our chances of being like really bad.
You either have to you have to go all in and be really bad.
Well, I was thinking it's like, what if we like signed Kessel like in the offseason to like a 1-year deal? But it's like, that's not like helping us be bad.
Sign Kessel. Let us get our Kessel merch.
Let me get a Kessel jersey.
And then you can flip him.
Yeah.
Davidson, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
Also, somebody go get me a discounted Hagel jersey, please.
Yeah, Hagel and Marc-Andre.
Yeah.
2 jerseys for the price of 1, essentially. Let's go.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still, everything you said kind of got me off, like I off the ledge a little bit on that, but it's like, I'm still beyond frustrated when you got him talking about, oh, we're going in hard, or we're going to be doing this. Like, it's not going to be pretty, but we're going to rebuild and all this. We still don't have a 1st round pick this year. I understand. Like, I know it doesn't. What?
So that's not really his fault.
No, but I felt like we could have gotten one for this year.
But from who?
I don't know. I felt that we had
the teams that would give up a 1st round pick don't have one probably. And then the teams that like have them don't need any of the guys that we have.
A lot of teams were saying they weren't getting up their first round.
Yeah. We know Toronto didn't want to give up their first rounder.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
But like from like who else? I see there's a picture that I sent you guys of the screenshot of the Florida Panthers. They have a second rounder, just one in the next 3 years. That's it.
They're all in, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I don't know. If I can find, if I wanted to just look at like this year's draft.
The NHL season's been packed with dirty dangles, hat tricks, and big wins. And as the action rolls on, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has your shot to win big too. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's right. A bump in the win column for your team means free bets for you. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you will have a shot at to light the lamp. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Hockey Contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with your first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet just $1 on any NHL team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. 21 and older. Restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
A lot of these later picks, like, all right, so right now, I'm just going to go starting at 32. So Colorado's pick is already traded to Arizona. And then Florida's pick is traded to Buffalo. Carolina's pick is traded to Arizona. Then you have Pittsburgh and Tampa, who still have their picks this year.
That's one I don't understand why we couldn't have gotten one of those first rounds. Yes, it would have been a low pick.
Like it from Tampa, this year.
Tampa from this year.
I mean,
I don't understand why that one.
With everybody saying that there's a deeper draft next year, I think that's great. Maybe Tampa was planning on doing something else with their first this year. I don't know. That's also kind of funny to me that after the Hagel trade, they said that they were done making moves, and then they made some moves. Either way, so. After Tampa, then Calgary, their pick's gone for the Tyler Toffoli trade. Toronto, who said they didn't want to give up their first. What is this?
New York, but it's a conditional.
If Andrew Kopp plays
50% of their playoff rounds, and the Rangers win 2 playoff rounds.
And he plays 50% of the games.
Yeah.
Boston, and then they traded their pick to Anaheim. Washington, who would only wanted Fleury from us, and he didn't want to go there. St. Louis, I don't know if they would have given up a first for Dahan. And then we have the Minnesota, who possibly is giving us a first rounder. We never know. Nashville didn't go all in. LA didn't go all in. Edmonton didn't go all in. Vegas traded their first for Jack Eichel. And then you're getting into teams that are on the bubble who probably wouldn't move at first, and then non-playoff teams.
I think Dallas would have. Dallas probably would have.
The highest traded pick is ours. Right now, it's like sitting at like an 8th.
Dude, Arizona's got 3 first-round picks.
Do they?
Yep.
I thought one was just conditional. I thought they only had 2.
Oh yeah, conditional. Well, no, they get the better.
And they have their own. Okay.
So their one conditional is the better of Montreal and Carolina's first round.
No, it's the higher.
I'm literally reading word for word. It's the better of Montreal.
Oh yeah, but unless it's in the top 10,
right?
They're both top 10 protected.
Yeah, so they will have 3. Because it's no matter what.
No. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. They'll have 3. I forgot. I forgot they have their. No, I forgot they have their own.
Yeah.
they're not getting Montreal's pick, who right now is at 1. They're getting Carolina's, who's at like 30 something.
Right.
30.
Oh my God, exactly. Montreal loses the lottery. They fall to 11th. So Arizona gets 11. That'd be hilarious.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying Montreal, if they lost the draft lottery, they dropped down to 11.
Yeah,
So then,
that's not even how it. That's not even possible.
it's not impossible anymore.
How could Montreal drop to 11?
If they're no, I don't know. Couldn't you drop that far down before?
No, it was only three. Only three picks were the draft.
Was it really?
Yeah, the top three were, and now it's
I
only
thought
top
you could
two.
fall down farther.
No, now it's just top two. So Montreal can drop as far as three, if anything. And I mean, Arizona can still
That's my
get first
fault.
overall
Yeah.
with their own.
I can't keep up with all the fucking rule changes, like, and how they're doing all this shit.
But yeah, anyway, I don't even know who we'd be getting the first from this year, and for what. Like the Tampa first would have been like the only one that would have made sense. Like Pittsburgh went out and got Ricard Raquel. Like we didn't have anybody like that level, and
That's a
they
sneaky
didn't
good
even give him
pickup.
a first.
That's a sneaky good pickup from
Pittsburgh does that shit every year. Like they went and got like Jeff Carter like a couple of years ago, and it's just worked out so well. And I think the only thing that hasn't worked out super well is Zucker. I think at the time it was good. I don't know. Zucker,
Zucker.
Whatever. Don't care.
Ah, finally, I correct you on names.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Podcast over. But yeah, I don't like I said, where are you getting a first from when all of them are gone?
Get creative, man.
Dude, fuck this draft. Who cares? Who gives a shit? we're looking at 2023.
Yeah, that our luck though, it'll be a great draft year next year, and Tampa Bay will fucking fall to a top 10 pick, and we lose that one, and then 2024, 2025 will be shit draft classes, and that's just the Blackhawks luck right there.
Yeah, whatever. Let's see. This year we don't have a first, but we have 2 seconds. I mean, we could have a first still. That's the thing. We could have a first.
I don't know. I will be shocked if we have a first with that. I will generally be shocked.
All right. Well, I'm gonna root for the Wild to make it to the Western Conference Final.
Don't you feel dirty saying that? Don't you feel dirty at all saying that?
No, I didn't say Stanley Cup Final. And then we have 3 thirds, none of which are our own. And then we don't have a 4th or a 5th. We have 2 6th and a 7th this year. I'm assuming we'll end up getting more picks for next year, which will be cool. But yeah, I think we'll be fine.
All right. What grade do you give Davidson's first deadline?
I don't know. B. I guess I would actually give him like an A though, because the Hagel deal is so good. Fleury, like that move almost didn't happen, and we get at least a second. I think that's a great move. Plus, he's not like, we don't look like assholes like every other team that's gotten rid of Fleury. And then Carpenter for a 5th, like, is just like a small little deal. Even though the 5th is also for 2024, which is hilarious to be. I don't even know if Calgary just has like no picks available. But yeah, I mean, it was just solid. Like, we didn't lose any trade, I think. Oh, Calgary. Okay. Calgary
3 picks this year.
Yeah, and they only had this year's 5th and then 2024 5th. And then like just getting a 5th, they were like, no, if we give you this year, we'll only have 2 picks.
Fine, just give us your second next year. We'll call it a day.
Okay. That's funny.
I thought it was so funny too, seeing all the trades coming in, and it's like, oh, pick in 2023, pick in 2024, pick in 2024. It's like, you do know it's not against the rules to trade for picks in this upcoming draft, right? Like, it hasn't happened yet. You're allowed to do that. Like, they told you that when you got the job, right?
I mean, maybe the scouting team is just like, yo, don't get any picks this year. We have enough, and they're not going to be that great. Like, okay, sounds good. Well, yeah. What about you? What do you think?
Well, B-.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I said,
you wanted more fireworks.
I was expecting more fire. Like I said, I was expecting more fireworks the way he was talking and going all out. Like, we're going all into doing this. And when you hear that, you expect a fire sale kind of like guys that you expect to get traded. But instead of that, we got 2 or 3 trades where guys we weren't expecting to get traded.
Yeah.
Like that's like I don't understand. Like it's such a weird. I don't know. It just how it played out. It's just so weird compared to like how he was talking about it, and that's why I'm just kind of like still at the point like what happened? Like what is going on here? Clearly, he's a smarter person than I am because he is a GM of an NHL team, and I'm just a podcaster in my basement, talking and complaining about what he's doing. But
Yeah, right.
but I don't know. I just felt for when he was talking about his game plan and all this kind of stuff when he first got named GM and all that, I was like, okay, cool. Let's get behind this. Let's get going. And then it just kind of seems like, I don't know, lackluster to me.
You just wanted more.
I expected more. That's all.
That's
in
all.
it. But I guess if I would have got my wish, then we probably would be talking about why the fuck did we trade to Brinkett, or how did we only get that for Kane? You know, like I kind of feel like it was all or nothing type of situation. So I guess it's better.
I think that the thing that I like about it too is even though that he didn't make some moves that we were expecting, like he didn't get fleeced, and
right.
like the moves don't look bad. You know, some people might be, oh, the worst move is a non-move. Like, I don't know, man. Like I like Calvin DeHaan on the team. I think he's a great asset. And I think like, you can get a leadership thing out of that. And especially with all the young defensemen that we have in the system, like getting a guy that blocks and hits and like shows guys how to play that really hard defensive role, especially a guy like Alex Vlasic, who just started playing on the Hawks and gets to like watch this guy block shots day in and day out and just take a fucking beating. Like, I think that's going to be really valuable. And then, like I said, like there's no absolute need to trade Kubalik at this time. He's an RFA. Like he can't just like walk in free agency. Like if you didn't have to make those moves, then don't fucking make them. Like hold on for another day, you know?
Yeah. Speaking real quick of Alask, you realize how big our team's getting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy
dude.
shit.
Hagel was only what, like 5'10", and we got traded for 6'3" and 6'2", Kachuk and Radish.
Our defense, the smallest guy that's plays like consistently, is like a tie between Calvin DeHaan, Caleb Jones, McCabe, and Stillman.
I said, are they like 6'1"?
6'1". 6'1".
Yeah,
Gus is 6 foot, but he doesn't play enough. But still.
Also, Gus, I'm pretty sure is going to be gone this summer.
100%. Velasquez 6, fucking 6. Connor Murphy,
6'6".
Steph Jones 6'4".
Yep.
Then you got Taves 6'2", Dylan Strome 6'3", Radish 6'3".
Kirby Doc is 6'4".
Lafferty's 6'1". He doesn't seem like he's a big guy, but he's a big guy.
Yeah. I like Lafferty too. I hope we actually.
Oh God, I hope we keep him.
I think that was just a great move. He's so noticeable when he's out on the ice too. Also, just to talk about the games real quick, does it seem like Jake McCabe has become like really confident with stick handling lately?
Yeah.
And it's crazy to watch because I'm like, wait, is that McCabe? And he's just like, yep, I'm going to take it into the zone. I'm going to bring it into the corner and I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, I'm going to say he does it he goes so well. Then it's like, oh shit, what am I supposed to do now? And
he starts to get too close to the net and starts to panic a little bit.
He's like, where's the blue line? Where's looking for the blue line?
I'm lost. Seth, where are you?
Seth's on the other side of the net, like right next to
him. How do we get so low?
They're both hanging around by the goal line and they turn around and look like, you're not Fleury.
Yeah, right. What the fuck? Yeah, that's good. I love that though. Yeah, they're getting big. I like it. I don't know anything else about like the Hawks trade deadline.
I guess real quick, 2 quotes I kind of want to read.
Oh yeah.
One was the one you sent me regarding was about to Brinkett, talking about the magnitude of Davidson's rebuild. He's staying true to his word. I'm sure it was a tough decision to see a guy like Hags go, But what we got back is pretty good too. That's his job to do, and for us to just go out there and play hockey.
I think you know that he likes Hagel, but he also is friends with like Radish. So it's kind of like,
yeah, but
I hate
that's
to
like
see him go, but I love what we got in return. You know, like it's funny to me that like they're getting the line back together after like once McDavid left the Otters, like you get the line back together.
that was a very good future captain comment.
Yeah. Oh God, absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, and I also wonder too if he's kind of like, okay, maybe if I say good things about Davidson, my name will get taken out of rumor mill and all that.
I think that there is never like any rumors coming out of the Hawks about DeBrincat. I think it's all just made up bullshit.
Yeah. But the other thing I want to talk about real quick, talking about stuff coming out, rumors or media and all that.
Oh yeah.
We got a nerd fight on our hands. Kyle versus Kyle.
Yeah, so Kyle and Kyle violence.
Yeah, Kyle Davidson was talking at his post-trade deadline that he didn't appreciate that his interest for Marc-Andre getting leaked out to the media, and strictly says you'll have to talk to Kyle Davidson about that. Kyle Davidson just basically says, yeah, I heard his comments. I will address that privately.
Yeah.
Let's go. Kyle, nerd fight. Let's go. Like,
yeah, what are they going to do? Just be like, oh, we're not going to trade with you ever again.
Noli said it best in our group chat. Kyle Davidson works for the hockey center of the world. In the hockey center of the world. His team is owned by a media company.
Yeah.
Nothing you do is going to stay quiet.
Well, that's what probably, the big reason he didn't want it out is because it's just going to be all over the media. It was literally like, oh, the move that didn't happen. And it's like, yeah, man, do you know how many fucking things don't happen? Like probably a lot more than that. A lot more, way more. But it's like, oh, he didn't go and get Marc-Andre Fleury. And like, was Brandon Hagel a part of that?
Hagel was a part of it. Oh shit, what can I find?
You're not gonna get Hagel and Fleury for like a first and like a prospect and like Mrazek. Fucking Peter Mrazek, who they then put on waivers. Are you fucking kidding me? They were trying to give him away. You
still weren't even gonna offer. I still don't even think they were offering up their first round pick.
I think it was.
Was it?
Yeah, in that kind of a deal. And it's just like, no, fuck that. Are you kidding me? And then, like, the good thing about it is, like, look at that trade and then look at the two different trades that he made and all we got from that instead.
I think I sent it in our group chat. I'm trying to find the trade.
Oh, like the proposal one?
Yeah. Because, it was interesting.
Yeah, but, it's looking in comparison to what actually happened, like trash.
Right.
Garbage trade. Like, we would be stuck with Mrazek, which, whatever. Like, we're going to suck. Might as well suck with somebody. I don't know.
Here
One
was
of the things that we're going to look into, like, over the summer, too.
That's
is
the actual trade.
Who can we put in net?
Okay, so Chicago and Toronto discuss Hagel. Jesus, he's only been gone for 4 days, and I already forgot to say his name. Hagel and Fleury to the Leafs from Mrazek. Matthew Nyes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice, I think.
Nice, whatever. And first round picks. Okay, so never reached a stage where Fleury was asked officially to waive. Toronto declined based on futures involved.
Yeah, so they're not comfortable with what Tampa gave up, basically.
If I was Dubas, I would have made that trade. Fuck it. You're not going to have a job after this playoff anyways. You're going to get fired when you get bounced after the first. So you might as well say fuck it and try to go all in.
Yeah, blow it up.
Yeah, it's not that's future GM's problem.
Fuck it. Should have just been a seller.
Yeah. So now when they need salary cap help, and the Blackhawks are still in rebuild mode, and they got the salary cap space to eat a bad contract. Let's see Kyle Davidson throw this back in Kyle Dubas's face. Yeah. Like, I'm talking to the media about every single thing we're talking about right now. This is actually on Instagram Live right now as we're discussing this. Fuck you.
Live on TikTok.
Yeah, you and your stupid
I don't even know if that's
glasses.
a thing. Also, like, I mean, you got William Nylander and Austin Matthews contract coming up in after 2 seasons from now.
You really say Nylander?
Yeah, I don't know why it came out that way. Where are you going for any kind of cap dump there, bud?
Guess what? We will wait and we will sign them in free agency, and we will
Yeah.
give a big fuck you.
And then whoever you decide to waive instead of actually trade, guess what? Arizona's going to pick them up. Fuck you.
Was that the most Toronto thing ever?
I don't know, dude. Like, I'm starting to question like the asset management, or is it just people just want to screw Toronto?
Yes.
I forgot what I don't know if it was sent in our group chat or not, but it was like the Toronto has had 11 players picked up on waivers from their team, double the next team that had anybody picked up off of waivers. I know, man.
That's hilarious. Nobody wants to help out Toronto.
It sucks when you're in cap hell and fucking trying.
You gotta
to
take a
move
glass
around
half full,
players.
half empty approach with that. Nobody wants to help out Toronto, or does everybody want to help out Toronto by taking all these nice prospects that they can't afford to keep? So they're just taking them away before they get into that problem where they have to be like, oh, how are we going to re-sign you?
Not even prospects though, too. Because 1 second, I gotta find Arizona.
It's like Adam Brooks was one.
The guy
Dvorak, not Dvorak.
Sateri. Hari Sateri.
Finnish goalie.
Yeah, he's 32. Toronto just signed him, and he had to go through waivers to be on Toronto, and Arizona's like, nope, thank you.
That's a prospect. Come on now.
32. His last NHL contract was signed in 2010 and finished in 2013.
With who?
Oh, no. I didn't realize that it goes in the opposite order. Sorry. His last contract was in 2018, 2019 with the Red Wings.
Okay.
But he also has played 9 total games in the NHL. That's it for Florida.
He was going to solve their goalie problems, man.
Yeah, I mean, in Finland, he recently had a 1.0 goals against average with 9.62 save percentage. That's pretty crazy. That was 5 games, though. And then in the KHL, maybe that's why. Maybe he left his KHL team. He had 38 games with a 2.02 goals against average and a 9.26 save percentage. But yeah, it's kind of funny to me that they're Arizona's just like, we actually just traded Scott Wedgwood, who was our backup, to Dallas, who immediately became the assistant captain. And then
I love that.
And then they just went, yoink, we'll take that guy instead. It's really funny.
What's even better about that is it was an embarrassing long time that was on screen.
What was that? Was that on
NHL Network? And the funny thing too is it wasn't even like that had to be a rush job. Dude, that trade happened last night.
Yeah.
Like that didn't it wasn't like, oh, cool. Scott Wedgwood got traded. Hurry up, let's put a graphic up. No.
Yeah.
You got traded last night and they put him in an assistant captain jersey.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's really Photoshop him into it.
Oh my God, hockey.
Take the A off the jersey. I don't know.
Hockey is fucking trash with their like graphic. Like it's so funny how bad hockey is with this stuff.
I think that maybe somebody's like, what gets a lot of clicks is when you fuck up shit. And so then it just gets spread like even more wildfire when things just aren't correct. Oh, I love it. So good.
Do you got anything else for Hawks?
No, just Alex Vlasic and Kyle versus Kyle. I don't know. I don't think that they're gonna do great the rest of the season. No. Lincoln's gonna get a lot of ice time, so maybe he'll. He had a great game on Saturday though too. Against Minnesota.
It's a blessing. Yeah, it's a blessing trading because now
he got he got a whole new setup, didn't he? He has all new pads and helmet.
Yeah,
it looked weird.
It's gonna be good for him. I think now it's gonna be a good toss to kind of see. Okay, if he's the guy,
and
he's getting a majority of the starts. Is that going to benefit him? Because I mean, he needs a contract next year too. And I know there's been some questions of if he deserves one from us or if we should re-sign him kind of thing. And
Right.
so it's like, yeah, give him the starts and let's just see what we have in him. And
Yeah. Who do you think they bring up?
it should be Delia, but it's not going to be.
Yeah, I was
Sort of
saying,
bomb.
just sign Comesso and just throw him in.
No. Do not ruin that kid.
That's what you should do with everybody. Is just throw him in.
Yeah, just deep end. It's worked so well for Spencer Knight.
Go play in the NHL.
Um,
That's it though. That's all I got for Hawk stuff.
all right, we'll talk real quickly here. Anything stood out to you from the rest of the deadline?
I don't know. Nothing like too crazy. Like everybody's gonna nitpick like their own teams, like trades, and then everybody that's on Instagram will always just be like, "Oh, classic." Insert team name here, L. Yeah, and it's just like, wow, that's great. It's so necessary. I guess like Giordano to Toronto. I don't know,
especially because Seattle was so hell bent on getting a first for him. I was very surprised that ended up working.
Yeah, I don't know how good he's been playing this year. I don't even know. He's a couple of years removed from his Norris Trophy season, and he's basically only scoring way less. I don't know. He's not that young,
23 points in 55 games.
He's 38. Oh my god. I mean, cool for Toronto that they got him, but like, is he going to be a huge factor? I doubt it.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, like we said, like I really do not see Toronto doing anything.
They're going to have a hard time getting out of the first round, especially when whoever they're playing after that is, or whoever they're playing then, and then whoever they're playing after that is either Florida or Tampa.
Right. Like you got to go through the two-headed juggernaut in Florida, which I hope we see that that's another one. I wish that was like a conference final matchup right there.
Oh yeah.
Because that is going to be some fun hockey to watch.
And whoever gets to play one of those teams, or likely one of those teams in the Eastern Conference Final, is going to be playing like a crippled fucking team because they're going to murder each other. It's like the Vegas's first year when like, what was it, Nashville and Winnipeg were just stacked.
Oh,
and then they played each other before the Western Conference Finals and like basically murdered each other to like almost nothing. And then Vegas just walked in and was like, "Oh, you guys suck." It's like.
Yeah. Right now,
dead, though.
If the season ended right today, Florida would get Toronto, but they're also at threat of falling out. Like they're tied with Boston right now.
Toronto?
Yeah.
I think Toronto's best move to move out of the first round is to not play anybody in their own division. Become a wild card team and then like just play the first place team in the fucking, I can't even think.
Who would you want, Carolina or Florida in the first round?
I don't know. Whoever they match up against better. Do you want to lose to Florida, or do you want Freddie Anderson to beat you?
Oh my god!
Can you imagine Freddie Anderson taking them out in Game 7 of the first round?
I want to see Toronto fans cry. So yes, yes to both of those.
So poetic. He gets fucking shat on, not re-signed, and then takes them out in the first round. And he eliminates them from the first round again. That'd be hilarious.
That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, if what is it? If Boston and Toronto swap, and Toronto's the first wild card seed, they're playing Carolina. Maybe. I don't know. They're only 2 points behind Florida. Either way, they're going to have a hard time. They're going to have a hard time no matter who they fucking play.
Right. One thing I found funny, too, with the trade deadline was Seattle essentially trading majority of their picks back to their original teams.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
They just borrowed players.
Yeah, we just got to get this going.
Yeah, for our first season, we're just going to borrow some guys. Is that okay? Really wanted picks. Nobody wanted to trade us picks because they all didn't want to get Vegased.
Vagide.
Vagide.
I was surprised. So I was surprised that Kessel didn't get moved.
Yeah, I think more of like the non-move situations, like, was more surprising than anything.
DeBrusque
A lot of like
didn't get moved.
small little moves. Yeah, I don't know.
Colorado, I think, did a good job getting better. Florida did a good job getting better. Carolina adding Domi was interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out.
I kind of feel like that
That'll
trade was
probably be pretty
made.
good.
I felt like that trade was made because there wasn't like a crazy 3-team complicated trade yet. And they're just like, oh, cool, let's do this real quick.
Somehow they got fucking Florida roped into it too.
Yeah, so Columbus traded Domi and a 2022 6th-round pick to Florida, who then went on and traded Domi and a prospect to Carolina. And then Carolina traded another prospect to Florida. And Florida 50%.
I got so confused on what you were just saying.
It's so weird it's so weird. It's just so weird like how they have it set up, because it's like, so technically Domi was a part of
Domi and a 6th-round pick went to Florida. And I don't know, they got
Domi and a prospect went to
some
Carolina.
guy from Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, okay, so Domi and Inamoto from Florida, who's probably just whatever part of this. Okay, whatever. Who cares? Max Domi's in Carolina. That's it. That's all you got to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what Claude Giroux does in Florida.
Did you see Owen Tippett in the Flyers jersey
in all orange?
He had the white. His first game was a road game, and he got the white jersey with like the orange like covers, all that, like shoulders.
Yeah,
it matches him so perfectly. That like the pale with the red hair, like, oh my god, he fit it so well.
The team loves redheads.
Yeah.
I'm
super excited. I think Florida probably what they were missing was probably a solid backup.
Yeah.
I think their backup goalie right now is kind of iffy. Spencer Knight's hit or miss. But Bob's been playing really well, so hopefully they can just ride that. Colorado did a good job kind of really shoring up their team.
Yeah, Josh Manson. They have a really good defensive core, and Sam Girard's still hurt. And then Landis Cogdell get back too.
They also added Cogliano and is it Link? It's not Lincoln.
No. Oh, Lehkonen. Arturi Lehkonen.
Yeah. So that's two good pickups, I think, as well.
Yeah, Colorado did a lot of solid moves. Vegas made moves to make salary cap space. Ooh, Tyler Mott as a Ranger, I think, is going to be a sneaky good little pickup because he played really well in Vancouver.
Yeah, the Rangers did some nice little moves too.
I'm excited to see like how the rest of the season kind of plays out. I really want to see what the Hawks do with like prospects and things like that. If they start to like play some guys a little bit more, or do they just kind of play it out the way that the team is right now?
Yeah, I kind of hope to. Yeah, I kind of hope they call some kids up, get some playing time in the NHL. Because I mean, it's not like you've got anything on the line at this point. Like, give them some experience and all that. But we got about 20 games, depending on the team. There's anywhere between 22 to like 18 games left in the season. So it's going to be a quick dash to the playoffs. And
we have 19 games left.
Hawks do?
Yeah.
Which is very weird. Like,
it's gonna be great when we go 19-0. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah. Another thing too, real quick, I saw that what's going to be interesting too, because all the dates are still messed up because of the COVID pause and all that. Free agency is July 13th this year.
Oh, it's like pushed back almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Oh, crazy thought. Hawks throw 19-0, make the playoffs, right?
No.
Wild card seed. They play through the Pacific. Guess who they meet in the Western Conference Finals? Minnesota. Sweep them. Fleury, all 4 games. Lincoln rides off into the sunset. Can't find him anywhere for the Stanley Cup Finals against Brandon Hagel and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
You take a dive at that point. It's like, oh shit, we can win and get our asses kicked by Tampa, or we can guarantee ourselves a first-round pick.
Don't care.
Oh no, they would have it because they were in the conference final. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm fucking tired, man. Let's wrap this up. Do you got anything else you wanna?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
It. All right, so trade deadline coverage here. Very blah. I mean, for a very blah deadline, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully, free agency and the draft and all that stuff's more entertaining, and we get more to talk about. But we'll see. All right, episode 172. What do you want to call it?
Farewell, Marc-Andre Fleury, Hagel, and Carpenter.
Can you trim that up a little bit?
Yeah, man. I don't want to leave anybody out, but really, like, heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker.
Like, the Hagel heartbroken. Like we kind of knew that Fleury wasn't here for that long.
Oh no!
Like it really hurts a little bit more knowing that Hagel's could have been here for probably like 10 plus more years.
Right. But all right, so that's episode 172. Heartbreaker, Hagel heartbreaker. Make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Leave 5-star reviews. Blah blah blah. Follow social media at WCB Podcast, Hockey Podcast Networks at HockeyPodNet. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we'll see you next one.
Blah, blah, blah. All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
The Windy City Benders Podcast. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube. And follow the boys on socials at WCB Podcast.